hidden saboteur in your morning routine. It all starts with a good habit. You sprinkle turmeric into your tea, stir it into your oatmeal, maybe even blend it into a golden smoothie. You've heard the praise, how this vibrant spice can ease joint pain, calm digestion, and support your heart. And for many older adults, turmeric feels like hope in a jar. Natural, gentle, no prescriptions needed. But what if something in your routine, something you've trusted for years, is quietly working against it? That same breakfast, that same comforting snack, that same swirl of cream or drizzle of dressing. What if it's not just harmless, but actually blocking the benefits of turmeric? That's what Elaine, 73, discovered. For months, she added turmeric to her meals, but the swelling in her hands didn't budge. Her energy still dipped every afternoon. It wasn't until her doctor asked a simple question, "What are you eating with it?" that the real problem came to light. Because turmeric doesn't work alone. And when paired with the wrong foods, it can lose its healing power before your body even has a chance to use it. Let's take a closer look at the 3 everyday foods that might be silently undoing everything you hoped turmeric would help. Processed dairy, the friendly face with a silent cost. For many of us, dairy is a quiet comfort, a creamy splash in our morning coffee, a sweet, familiar spoonful of yogurt, a slice of cheese that melts perfectly over scrambled eggs. These small habits become part of the rhythm of our day. We rarely question them because they've always been there. But if you're someone who's added turmeric to your routine, hoping to ease stiff joints, improve digestion, or protect your memory, these comforting foods might be quietly standing in the way. What many don't realize is that certain types of dairy, especially processed ones like American cheese slices, powdered creamers, and flavored yogurts, can actually block the absorption of curcumin, the healing compound inside turmeric. They often contain additives, preservatives, artificial sweeteners, and hidden sugars. For older adults whose digestion may already be more sensitive, this can create a perfect storm: irritation, sluggish metabolism, and reduced nutrient uptake. But there's something even more subtle happening. Specific proteins in dairy, like casein, can bind to curcumin in the gut, essentially trapping it before your body ever has a chance to use it. The very remedy you're relying on never reaches the places that need it most. That's what happened to Tom, a retired postal worker from Ohio. At 70, he was doing everything right. He stirred turmeric into his eggs every morning. He enjoyed golden milk at night. But he never thought twice about the powdered creamer he used in his tea, or the processed cheese that topped his breakfast. Weeks went by. His knees still ached. His fingers still felt stiff. It wasn't until he made 2 small changes, replacing his creamer with almond milk and leaving the cheese off his plate, that things shifted. Within a couple of weeks, the tightness in his joints began to ease. He walked a little farther, he stood a little taller, and most importantly, he felt like his efforts were finally working. Because it turns out, turmeric doesn't work alone. And when you pair it with the wrong things, even ones that seem innocent, it can't do what it was meant to do. But dairy isn't the only hidden culprit. There's another ingredient, tangy, acidic, and tucked inside almost every fridge in America. That might be quietly undoing the benefits of turmeric. One bite at a time. Vinegar-rich foods, a sour deal for your cells. It's such a small thing, really. Just a drizzle on your salad, a splash in your coleslaw, a little tang on a sandwich. Vinegar-rich foods are woven into everyday American meals, bright, bold, and sharp. They wake up the taste buds, they make food feel alive, and they've been part of your kitchen for decades. But if turmeric is part of your daily routine, these same foods might be quietly undoing everything you're trying to heal. Here's why. The healing power of turmeric lies in curcumin, a compound that's sensitive, almost fragile. It needs just the right conditions to be absorbed into your bloodstream and do its work. Unfortunately, high-acid environments, like those created by vinegar, can destabilize curcumin. The moment you pair turmeric with pickles, mustard, ketchup, or a vinegar-based dressing, its healing potential starts to unravel. Think of it like this. Curcumin is a message of healing, trying to reach your cells. But when you surround it with acidity, the message gets scrambled. The body doesn't absorb it fully. The benefits fade before they begin. For someone with a healthy gut and fast metabolism, this might not be a major issue. But for older adults, where digestion is slower and stomach linings may be more delicate, this combination can also cause discomfort. Acid reflux, bloating, even heartburn, and often it gets blamed on the turmeric itself. That's what happened to Linda, 68. She was proud of her new routine, adding turmeric to her afternoon salad every day. It felt clean, healthy, purposeful. But instead of feeling better, she felt worse. Her stomach turned after each meal. Her knees still ached. She almost gave up. Then one evening, her daughter, who worked as a nutrition coach, took a look at her pantry. Bottled vinaigrettes, dill pickles, citrus-drenched marinades. "You're doing all the right things," her daughter said, "just not at the same time." So Linda made one small change. She swapped the bottled dressing for extra virgin olive oil, added a squeeze of lemon, not too much, and sprinkled in some turmeric with a crack of black pepper. The salad still tasted vibrant, but now it worked with her body instead of against it. Within 10 days, she noticed a difference. Her digestion felt calmer, her joints less stiff. Her body responded not with a jolt, but with a quiet easing. The lesson? Vinegar isn't the villain. It has its place. But if you're using turmeric for healing, timing matters. You can still enjoy pickles or sour condiments. Just separate them from your turmeric-rich meals by a few hours. Give your body a buffer. Let turmeric do its work without interference. Because sometimes it's not about removing a food entirely. It's about understanding when and how it fits into your healing story. And if you've been doing everything right, but still not feeling better, maybe the real problem isn't the turmeric at all. Sugar, the sweet thief of turmeric's power. There's a certain kind of comfort in sweetness. A bowl of frosted cereal in the morning, a muffin with your coffee, a cookie after lunch. These aren't just snacks, they're memories. They remind you of mornings with the radio on, or quiet afternoons shared with a grandchild. Sugar isn't just food. It's emotion, it's history. But sugar also has a darker side, especially for those trying to heal. When you eat refined sugar, your body reacts quickly. Blood sugar spikes, insulin surges, inflammation flares, and the very symptoms turmeric is meant to ease, joint pain, fatigue, brain fog, are quietly intensified. It's like asking your body to drive with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. You see, turmeric works to calm inflammation. It tells your immune system to stand down. It supports brain clarity and steadier blood sugar. But when you combine turmeric with high-sugar foods, sweetened cereals, pastries, processed snacks, you create a tug-of-war inside your body. Turmeric tries to soothe. Sugar shouts louder. Walter, 74, learned this the hard way. Every morning he made what he thought was the perfect breakfast. Instant oatmeal with turmeric stirred in, plus a glass of orange juice. It felt warm and healthy, but his knees stayed stiff, his hands still ached, and the midday crash left him drained. Then a friend gently asked, "What's in that oatmeal packet?" He looked closer. Sugar, syrup, artificial flavors, more sugar. So he made a switch. He bought plain oats, added a pinch of turmeric, a few crushed walnuts, a handful of blueberries, and a drizzle of raw honey. The change didn't feel drastic, but the results were undeniable. His hands moved more freely. He had more energy after breakfast, not less. And by week 3, he noticed something new. He actually felt clear in the mornings again. Sometimes the hardest part isn't knowing what to eat. It's believing that a few small changes could actually make a difference. So if you've ever stood in your kitchen, staring at your breakfast, wondering why your body still hurts, even though you're trying your best, you're not alone. Type 1 in the comments if you've ever dismissed the pain and thought, maybe it's just age catching up with me. Type 2 if you've grabbed something sweet out of habit, then felt worse without knowing why. Type 3 if you still believe your body can get better, with the right choices, one small step at a time. I read every single comment because your story matters. And maybe, just maybe, the next story we tell will be yours. Sugar isn't just empty calories. It can block nutrient absorption, raise inflammation markers, and interfere with digestion. For older adults, it also contributes to insulin resistance, fatigue, poor sleep, and cognitive decline. But that doesn't mean you have to give up everything sweet. Instead, choose smarter sweetness. Whole fruits like bananas, berries, or apples. A teaspoon of raw honey. A small splash of real maple syrup. These natural options release sugar more slowly, without the inflammatory crash. They still bring joy, but they don't fight against the turmeric you're working so hard to include. Because in the end, sugar might taste like comfort. But comfort should never come at the cost of feeling well. Black pepper, the tiny add-on that changes everything. It's small, almost invisible, just a few dark flecks on your plate. You've probably used it your whole life without giving it much thought. But black pepper, yes, the same kind sitting next to your salt shaker, holds one of the most powerful secrets to unlocking turmeric's true potential. Here's why. The golden compound inside turmeric, curcumin, is packed with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant benefits. It can soothe your joints, support your memory, and even help regulate your immune system. But curcumin has one big problem. Your body struggles to absorb it. On its own, only a tiny fraction makes it into your bloodstream. The rest, it passes right through. That's where black pepper steps in. Black pepper contains a natural compound called piperine, and piperine is a game changer. Studies show that when you combine curcumin with piperine, the absorption of turmeric in your body can increase by up to 2,000%. Not 20%, not 200%, 2,000%. For older adults, where digestion is slower and the body needs a little more help, that difference can be everything. James, 69, had been taking turmeric for months. He stirred it into soups, sprinkled it on eggs, and even bought capsules. But nothing seemed to change. His hands were still stiff, his shoulders still tight. He was about to give up when his daughter brought him something unexpected. A turmeric tea blend with black pepper. He rolled his eyes at first. Pepper in tea? He joked, but he tried it anyway. By the end of the second week, he noticed he wasn't clenching his jaw in the mornings. He could twist open the peanut butter jar without pain. And one afternoon, he picked up his toolbox for the first time in over a year and carried it to the shed. Not because the tea was magical, but because black pepper gave turmeric a chance to work. And that's what most people miss. They think turmeric didn't help, but in truth, turmeric was never given the partner it needed. You don't need a lot, just a pinch of freshly ground black pepper when you cook with turmeric. Add it to scrambled eggs, roasted vegetables, soups, or stews. Stir it into warm almond milk with a touch of honey for a calming evening drink. Even better, choose fresh peppercorns, not the pre-ground powder sitting in your cabinet for years. Fresh pepper has higher piperine levels, meaning better support for your body. And if you're using turmeric supplements, check the label. Look for piperine or bioperine, a standardized extract of black pepper. Without it, you may be spending money on something your body can't even use. In the end, it's not about doing more, it's about doing better. Turmeric and black pepper are partners. One unlocks, the other delivers. Together, they remind your body, strength is still possible. Healthy fats, the golden vehicle for curcumin. Turmeric may be powerful, but it can't reach your cells on its own. Curcumin, the active ingredient inside turmeric, is fat-soluble. That means it needs fat to be absorbed into the bloodstream. Without it, most of the curcumin simply passes through your body, unnoticed, unused, unhelpful. It's like writing the perfect letter and never putting it in an envelope. This matters even more for older adults. As we age, our digestive systems naturally slow down. The body becomes more selective, more cautious about what it lets in. And while turmeric may offer incredible benefits, it won't work unless we give it the right support. That support begins with healthy fat, not heavy, greasy, processed fat, but clean, nourishing, natural fat. The kind found in extra virgin olive oil, avocado, nuts, chia seeds, flaxseed, and fatty fish like salmon. These fats don't just help with absorption, they also bring their own healing properties, protecting your heart, supporting brain health, and reducing inflammation. Carol, 72, didn't know this. Every morning she sprinkled turmeric on her oatmeal. She even added it to her tea. But she cooked everything with a non-stick spray, avoided oils altogether, and ate mostly fat-free foods because she believed that was healthier. Her joints still ached. Her energy dipped after breakfast. Nothing seemed to change. Then, during a doctor's visit, her physician asked a simple question. "What fat are you taking turmeric with?" She blinked. Fat? It had never occurred to her. So she started small. A drizzle of olive oil on her roasted vegetables, a spoonful of almond butter blended into her morning smoothie, scrambled eggs cooked in avocado oil with a pinch of turmeric and black pepper. And over the next few weeks, something softened. The tightness in her shoulders eased. Her afternoon naps became less about exhaustion and more about comfort. Her body, once resistant, began to respond. It wasn't the turmeric alone. It was the vehicle that carried it. Healthy fats act like delivery trucks, carrying curcumin through your digestive system and into your bloodstream, where it can calm inflammation, support memory, and give your joints the gentle boost they've been craving. But not all fats are created equal. Skip the margarine. Avoid deep-fried foods and heavily processed oils like soybean or corn oil. These not only block turmeric's absorption, they actively increase inflammation, working against everything you're trying to heal. Instead, choose real fat. Natural fat, fat that your body recognizes and knows how to use. Imagine this, a cozy bowl of soup made with turmeric, finished with olive oil and a squeeze of lemon. A smoothie with spinach, turmeric, berries, and a spoonful of nut butter. Roasted carrots tossed in turmeric, pepper, and avocado oil until golden and fragrant. These aren't just meals, they're medicine in disguise. Because with the right kind of fat, turmeric becomes more than a spice. It becomes a true partner in your healing journey. Raw honey, the gentle amplifier. Sometimes healing comes in the quietest forms. A warm cup, a familiar scent, a touch of sweetness that doesn't just comfort the tongue, but calms the body. That's the gift of raw honey. More than just a sweetener, raw honey carries anti-inflammatory compounds, antioxidants, and natural enzymes that support digestion and soothe the immune system. When paired with turmeric, it does something remarkable. It amplifies the effect, enhancing both absorption and flavor, turning each sip into a small act of self-care. But not all honey is created equal. What you find in the bear-shaped bottle on the supermarket shelf is often processed, filtered, and heated, stripping away the very nutrients that make honey so healing. It's smooth, yes, but hollow. Raw honey, by contrast, is textured, cloudy, and alive. It retains the pollen, enzymes, and antioxidants that nature intended. And for someone like Gloria, 75, it made all the difference. Each night before bed, she made a small drink. Warm water, half a teaspoon of turmeric, a tiny pinch of black pepper, and a teaspoon of raw honey. It became her ritual. Her signal that the day was winding down. She didn't expect much, but within a few weeks, her stomach felt calmer. Her throat wasn't scratchy in the mornings, and for the first time in months, she slept through the night. Gloria called it her evening golden spoon. Raw honey doesn't just help turmeric work better. It helps the moment feel better. It encourages consistency, because healing only happens when habits stick. And when something feels good, gentle, and easy, we're more likely to return to it. If you're watching your blood sugar, don't worry. Just a teaspoon is enough. That's all it takes to soften the bitterness of turmeric and invite its warmth deeper into your system, because sometimes the smallest things done with care can shift everything. The right ritual, your daily dose of calm strength. Healing doesn't always come in pills or prescriptions. Sometimes it comes in a rhythm, a simple ritual that whispers to your body, "You're safe now, and help is on the way." For many older adults, turmeric is more than a spice. It's a promise. A daily nudge toward steadiness, toward ease. But to keep that promise, it needs the right companions. Black pepper to unlock its strength, healthy fats to carry it where it's needed, raw honey to soften the journey and make it sustainable. That's the magic of a ritual. Not just what you take, but how you take it. Every morning, Diane, 70, starts her day with a small moment. A quiet kitchen, a mug of warm almond milk. She stirs in half a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and a touch of raw honey. Nothing fancy, no measuring spoons, just care. She sips slowly by the window, feels her joints awaken, her thoughts clear, her day begin, not rushed, but grounded. She calls it her morning reset. And she's not alone. Rituals like these are becoming sacred spaces for many, especially those who live alone or feel like the world doesn't move at their pace anymore. A turmeric ritual isn't about fixing everything overnight. It's about showing up for yourself, gently, consistently, with ingredients that ask for very little and give back so much. A teaspoon of turmeric, a dash of black pepper, a spoonful of good fat, a swirl of raw honey. That's it. No pills, no pressure. Just a warm moment to remind your body that it still has what it takes. because healing doesn't demand noise. Sometimes, the quietest routines become the most powerful anchors. And for those who feel like they've been overlooked or are starting this journey a little later in life, this next part is for you. You're not too late, you're just on time. Elaine used to wake up with a quiet dread. Her body felt like it had forgotten how to be hers. Each step from the bed was a negotiation. Each reach for the cupboard was a gamble. She had turmeric on her shelf. Sure, she'd read about it, tried it, but it felt like hope always showed up too late. One afternoon, her granddaughter came to visit. She didn't bring flowers. She brought a small jar, golden, fragrant, and simple. "Let's try again," she said. That night, they made a cup together. Warm almond milk, a pinch of black pepper, a swirl of raw honey. Elaine didn't say much. She sipped it slowly like she was learning how to trust her body again. And for the first time in a long while, she slept through the night. There was no miracle the next day, no sudden cure. But something shifted. Her fingers curled more easily around the doorknob. Her knees didn't protest when she stood. The pain wasn't gone, but it wasn't in charge anymore. That's the quiet power of small, steady care. You don't have to change everything. You don't have to be perfect. You just need one moment of intention, repeated with kindness. Because healing isn't a race, and you haven't missed your chance. Every new sunrise offers the same invitation. Try again, gently this time. So if this story felt true to you, if some part of it echoed what you felt, maybe it's time to give turmeric another look, but this time with the right pairings, the right rhythm, and the right belief that your body still remembers how to feel strong. You can save this video just in case you need it again someday. And if this resonated with you, we've created an entire series of gentle, natural health stories designed for people just like you. You'll find the next one waiting right below. Take your time. We're right here with you.